Welcome to Cowley's Lake and Campground, conveniently located close to the Red River Gorge, Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway, and Kentucky Adventure Tour. Today, 6 of us were headed out to drive Mountain Springs Road.
Onyx has a trail coming up on the left-hand side. You're going to want to go left to get to Mountain Springs.
It's amazing that we're talking about a 1.9-mile trail that we're driving to, and it's going to take 4 hours.
It must be pretty tough.
You're going to go left around this bend here, Steve. The next right-hand bend, halfway through the bend, Pilot Road is on the left-hand side.
He was wanting to know who had winches in case. He's like, well, because I don't.
Yeah.
Let me know if I need to go quicker or slower. When we exit, we're going to come out of the Baby Doll Tree Road. It's going to be creepy on the way out, but it's going to be fun.
You have to catch that on your filming.
Yeah, definitely.
Steve, this is where I got stuck last year, I'm pretty sure. Where Steve knocked out his wheel.
But that's where the reminiscing stopped, because we had encountered our first major obstacle.
There's just like a river of mud coming from his passenger rear tire, just flying back down the hill. Is it like a big obstacle, or what is it? I can't see. It's just a slippery, slick, muddy climb, and he's dragging diff up there, so he's going to have to just wail on it, I think. If he's dragging diff, we're going to drag diff. There you go, baby, there you go. And there's a pretty little sized ledge right there. It'll probably be smart if I pull a line, because I don't mess it up for you guys anymore. It already is. Yeah, you might have to. Try and get as far as you can again, and then pull when you get to that ledge.
You can make it around if you want to see it.
Oh, he's like right there.
Yeah, it's right there. They just threw that rock in there.
Oh, yeah, that's...
So that rock might help. That big rock was not there, the flat one with the mud on it. They just put that in there. So
Wow, that would be hard to get over.
yeah, it's
Yeah, one
pure
ton's on
mud.
37s. Everybody else could really have trouble.
Yeah. There he goes. Now, Chris's JK had the most aggressive tires and lift on any vehicle with us, so it got us thinking, is anybody going to make it up this hill? It also got me thinking about other situations we'd driven in, when we wondered, is this something that should make us turn around? But I couldn't think about all those past situations for too long, because there was another vehicle coming up the hill. Washouts, road obstructions, and ruts like this might often cause people to think about turning back. Today, though, we had the right equipment to overcome this obstacle. Just as in some of those past situations we've driven, the right tool can make all the difference. So don't forget that tools like a chainsaw or a winch, along with the know-how to use them, can open up a lot of opportunities. Meanwhile, back on Mountain Springs Road, we all waited to see whether Dominic could get past this obstacle without a winch. Thankfully, this particular winch was happy to keep pulling people up the hill. But there are times when even the right kind of tool can't fix the situation. Like the time that Bill and I discovered a massive horse trailer and truck stuck on a steep hill on the Cat, blocking the entire road. Our winch was never going to budge that thing, even if we could get around it.
It's needed a tractor to hook on and just take her all the way up.
It really does need a tractor, something big and heavy that will creep right up that without a problem.
And so in this case, we had to turn around and let somebody else help her.
Bye, horses. Good luck.
And sometimes you come across things that are just a little too big for that chainsaw.
And a hell of a detailer.
On today's road, we knew that as long as that winch held out and didn't overheat, we'd all make it up this hill, right? By now, everybody was getting into a routine with the winching, and so this should have been straightforward. But it wasn't, because that Ford was so heavy that it was pulling that JK down the hill.
Yeah, he's sliding.
I'm just pulling you down the hill. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, I'm not moving at all.
Initially, there was talk about bringing another vehicle down to anchor to the JK.
You want to hook Dom up as an anchor vehicle behind the Jeep?
But eventually, that JK was anchored to a nearby tree.
That winch is very angry.
Wonder how long it is to drive around the other side if I have to.
That winch is getting tired.
She don't want any more, that's for sure.
Nope, she died.
Thankfully, even though that winch wasn't particularly comfortable pulling that Ford up the hill, eventually it succeeded. Which got me thinking about times when perhaps going forward won't be all that comfortable, but does it mean you should turn around?
I don't see any end of it.
Extreme discomfort certainly could turn you around, but a little bit? Well, that's just part of the adventure. And that's exactly what Bill was experiencing as he drove up that Mountain Spring hill. A little bit of discomfort that you'll look back on as an adventure.
All right, I'm not too proud.
You made it up over the first one.
Pro tip, close your roof. I got mud in here like you wouldn't believe.
I'm gonna have to get that mud off of my seat.
But it wasn't the mud that Bill was concerned about.
Yes, I did. She hit hard underneath.
Because mechanical troubles are one more thing that could turn you back.
So what you doing down here, Bill?
You got a little something stuck in her caliper. It could be just a sliver of sandstone. I can't tell what the heck it is.
Pretty crazy. The problem of base camping, isn't it?
There it is.
Wow, show it to the camera, please.
Oh,
That's massive.
That's not good. You know why?
Why? That doesn't seem like it's a stone. That's
It's
part of the
part of the
rotor.
brake pad.
Oh my gosh.
Want to go to town?
Because right here we've got a nail in the tire. And it's leaking like crazy.
But thankfully, regardless of how hard he hit this time, we didn't have mechanical problems. Cody was the last to try to drive up that hill. We all assumed, since he was on the same tires that Bill and I were on, that the likelihood was we were going to be pulling winch pretty soon. But we didn't. But it's not for the reason you might think. Because although Cody would have loved to get up to the top of that hill, many of us were talking about the logistics of going forward this evening. We'd spent so much time winching up this obstacle and made so little progress on this trail that we knew it was going to be past dark if we finished this trail tonight.
Something big in my way.
Yep, there is.
Not to mention that most of the rigs and their drivers had driven this before and knew that it was only likely to get worse. And that's when the decision was made that we wouldn't pull Cody up the hill. Instead, everybody else would drive back down the hill and head back to camp to enjoy dinner. Luckily, the drive back down went a lot smoother than the attempted drive up.
Bye, Rue.
So when you're out there adventuring along life's byways, you might run across several reasons to consider turning back. Things like bad weather, timing, road obstructions like high water, pinstriping, downed trees, washouts, blockages by vehicles or other things along the trail, mechanical issues, animals, or probably a whole bunch of other things that I can't even think of right now. When you encounter those obstacles, the first question is likely to be, do I have the tools, time, and ability to remedy this? And your second question might be, well, what's beyond this? Is that really worth all of this time and effort? Because more often than not, this might be some unknown road to an unknown destination, and you have no idea what you might find on the other side. But what I can tell you is those times we have put in the time and effort to move past one of these obstacles and said no to turning back, sometimes that's when you find the grandest places of all. Thanks so much for watching. Now go out and find your own adventure.